Well, as you can see, I made it back from Daytona. Had a really good time. Amazing how big that place is. How many people in the cars. It was just unbelievable. But anyway, I got the car unloaded. That's probably going to be the last show that I'm going to go to this year. I'm going to try to start winterizing the car. I'll drain all the fuel out of it. Methanol is very corrosive. So what I'll do is I'll drain the tank, drain the fuel, take the barrel valve and the fuel pump apart, flush everything out and get it lubed up with some Marvel mystery oil. I'll drain the oil out of the motor. I might pull a couple of the main bearings and just check them, see how they look. This has been going on the second year that I've had the engine running. Also, I noticed, you can see here, let's see, right here, it blew the gasket out underneath the spacer from the blower. I just noticed that yesterday when I was unloading it. But anyway, I'm going to take it all apart, take the blower apart, check everything, like I said, for the winter. And now I'm over here with my pickup truck. I took a barrel of methanol down there with me. I used almost 30 gallons in the 3 days that we drove around. But I got an overhead hoist. I'll put a strap around the barrel, pick it up, and take it off the truck. Let me get the strap hooked up and see if we can get it off of here. About 10 gallons, maybe more. Maybe 10, 15 gallons left. Plus, I didn't even look what's left in the car. I'll drain it back out. Well, one of the first things they're going to do is drain the fuel out of it. There's probably about 5 or 6 gallons left in the fuel tank. And the fuel tank, the way it sits in the car, is actually 6 to 8 inches higher than the pump. So it gravity feeds. I use a 3/4 inch fuel line to get plenty of flow, but I haven't had a problem with it running out of fuel. I mean, if I was to probably race it or something and real high RPMs, it might starve it for fuel, but so far I've been running it 1.5 years like this, and I haven't had no issues with running out of fuel. So what I'm going to do is disconnect this fuel line right here where it comes into the bottom of the pump, and then I'll open this valve I got underneath here to shut the fuel off, and we'll start draining the tank first. Once I get the tank drained and flushed out, I'm going to take the injector head off, the pump, the blower, everything. I want to oil up everything for the winter. The methanol is extremely corrosive. You'll probably see later when I take the pump apart how much corrosion there is inside. Well, I'm going to try to get the injector head off next. I already broke the lines loose here, so I just got to unhook these. Get a wrench and we'll get the fuel pump off. Well, that's it for the fuel. Next thing I'll do is set up over there on the table and take all the barrel valve apart. I'm going to take the fuel pump apart and blow out all the lines, flush it, lube everything up with oil. I want to get that done first, and then we'll come back and see if we can get the blower off. Back together. But I thought while I had it off, I'll show you what the bottom of the hat looks like. The nozzles, they spray in, they hit this little spray straight in and hit this, and it diverts it down into the blower. And you can see the back two spray down. These here also help cool the back bearings, because the back bearings on the blower are pre-lubed, and you can't, they're not in oil. The front bearings on the and the gears on the front of the blower are in gear oil, so they stay cool. But these two nozzles spraying down in the back help to cool the back bearings. Well, let me see if I can get some of the lines off, and we'll go from there. I want to go ahead and take off the barrel valve and some of the fuel lines, and we'll start cleaning those out. For the people not familiar with the mechanical fuel injection, this bottom shaft here works the butterflies, and this shaft up here works the barrel valve. And this threaded rod here, you can turn it and increase or decrease the air-fuel mixture. Amount of air to the amount of fuel is adjusted by this rod right here. So let me get this off first. Off here. Yeah. This is if you wanted to run more fuel. I don't need more fuel, but if you wanted to, you could run another line off of this to another distribution block and do injection porting, or there's more plugs in the injector hat that you can inject more fuel in. Basically set up for racing. So now I'll get my air hose and compressor, and we'll blow it out. I'll set it up like this. It might be easier to see. Get on the other side. I'm going to take the lines off, and I'm going to go ahead and check all the nozzles on this side, and then I'll flip it over, and we'll do the other side. Rolling looks good. I had one plug up one time. A little piece of debris got in there and plugged it up, and you couldn't hear it too much that it was plugged up, with the engine as being loud as it is and the way it runs. But what you could notice was the condensation. It was one up here in the front, and the blower, usually you get a lot of condensation on the injector hat from the alcohol, and this side was dry. So I knew there was no fuel over here, and sure enough, I pulled it apart, and this front had a little piece of debris in it. I did notice it idling a little slower too, with less fuel. But this side looks good, so what I'll do now is let me retighten all these. Well, I got this side done. I got all the lines flushed to check the nozzles, the barrel valves back on, distribution block. So I'm going to flip it over and go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, but I'm going to not video it. I'm trying to keep the videos a little short. Maybe tomorrow, if I got time, I'll go ahead and we'll come back and try to pull the blower off. I got to pull the valve covers, adjust to check all the valves and adjust that. So I've got plenty to do for the winter. Well, appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, any comments, and I'll see you in the next video.